Five. What is up, everyone? Let me see. Let me get everything set here. Y'all pop in and say hello. And if anybody has any questions about how to make money online, let me know. I've been a content creator for almost 10 years. We've been doing this full time for over 3 years. We have 100,000 followers on 3 different platforms: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We have over 1 million followers on Facebook. So if anybody has any questions, pop them in. If not, I'm just going to chat a little bit about a little project I'm working on to give you guys some ideas. I'm not going to take too much of your time tonight, and I'm just going to have this so that we can pop it into the private group. Anyhow, so a lot of people were wondering about how you make money online, and basically everything comes down to you got to create content. And it doesn't matter how great your product is or what you've got to sell. If you want to do an online course or coaching or whatever you want to do, whatever you want to sell, you got to get your message out there. And basically, if you want to do it on social media, you can do it 2 ways. You can do it paid, or you can get it organic, which is making content. Now we've got a private group where we've got a bunch of people in there, and some of them are just starting out. They've never even made a profile on some of these platforms. So where they were finding some difficulty after they get set up is basically coming up with ideas. So I made this idea generator, and it's for anybody who's making content. If you're going to be in our group, I get your email, I get you all signed up for this. But let me go ahead and pop it up here and see if y'all can see it. And I'll run some ideas through it. Basically what it is you can pop on there once a day and load in any idea you have. So if you're a content creator and you're baking cookies, and some of y'all can like pop in the chat some ideas of what you do, a niche or anything, like we do gardening, right? So I do microgreens, I'll pop that in there. And what it'll do is it'll pop a bunch of ideas out for you. There'll be 8 that come out, and some will be trending, things that are currently trending in that. It'll give you ideas, and I'll show you an example of that. And some will be curiosity driven, some will be creative. Let me see if, now we're landscape, so you might have a hard time seeing this, but let me share the screen real quick. And this will basically give you guys ideas of videos to make. So the ones that are trending are like videos that are already out there, popular, getting views in that. The creative one, let me see, share screen. All right, and it's just an app that we made. I'm still working on this. All right, so you can barely see that. Let me see if it makes it any bigger in here. All right, so pretty much that's as big as it's going to make it, but you'll kind of get you also on YouTube. Yeah, Cindy, I'm over on YouTube on the KOG Cafe. Let me see if I can get you let me get you the link real quick, and I'll pop it over there. Or have you been on that channel already? You've got it? Okay. I see the others now. I thought I was the only one. All right, cool. Hi, Biscuits. What's up? All right, she's on YouTube. Good evening. You guys probably can't see that too good, can you? Next time I'll come on landscape instead of portrait. And I'll make a quick video with just that without me in it, so it'll be blown up. But this is an idea generator. And it's for all of you guys. Like I said, the biggest problem we've had in our group, I told you guys, you need to put out content. And I think that one of the big obstacles is coming up with ideas. Teresa, what is up? How are you doing? So Cindy's here. We got 2 Cindy's. How are you doing? And what this idea generator is, you take whatever niche or genre. We're going to punch in gardening, okay? Just because I'm in the gardening niche, microgreens or whatever. But if you're into baking cookies or whatever it is, you pop it in there, it's going to give you ideas. So I'll read some of them because you won't be able to read it, I don't think, if it's this small. Shirley, how are you doing? And this will be like the people in our group. All I need is I'll send you a link to it, and we'll get your emails. It might take a couple of days. This is an app that I built, so it's just the people in our group, and it's going to give you different ideas. It's going to come up with 8. So you punch in an idea. Let me go ahead and put one in here for an example. I'm just going to say gardening, okay? And then you guys spit out a couple different niches, and I'll punch it in here. I'll read you a couple. But all you do is hit generate. It says never run out of video ideas. Enter your niche and get fresh, trending, in-depth, creative, short-form video ideas. So this is for short-form videos, but you can translate it into long-form if you want. And basically what it does, you saw I punched that in, right? And like in less than 10 seconds, it's going to come up with 8. The yellow ones are going to be trending. That's stuff videos that are out there right now that are getting traction. In-depth is going to be ones that are more like informative. And then it's got creative, which will be ones that's just creative ones. Like this says store-bought versus homegrown, the tomato test. Never bug these 3 vegetables again, or never buy these 3 vegetables again. Then it gives you a title is stop throwing your money away in the trash. Grow these 3 kitchen scraps instead. Then it tells you what to do. A fast-paced video showing common store-bought vegetables, onions, celery, lettuce, being placed in water and sprouting roots. Ends with them being planted in soil. So that's just giving you one idea. And videos like that right now are getting between 100 and 300,000 views. Then you got like in-depth, mistake killing your garden. Has a title, tells you what to do. Morning harvest rituals, ASMR. That's another thing you could do. Some people just set up their camera and go out and do their morning business, whatever you have to do, and just film it. And some people tune in and just watch that. In-depth companion planning, the secret to no pesticide gardening. So it gives you just an idea and tells you what you can talk about. This one says a deep dive into why marigolds, basil, and nasturtiums are essential for organic pest control. Creative, the secret life of a dramatic plant. Common house plant or world-class drama queen, you decide. A creative storytelling video personifying a dramatic peace lily or the plant that wilts if you ignored it for an hour. Use text overlays to represent the plant's inner monologue. So that's just like ideas like in the gardening space, right? Chickens. Let me pop chickens in there. Dorinda, how are you doing? We're going to pop chickens in there, all right? Deborah, this is from KOG.com. No, this is going to be, this is an app that I made. And it's going to be part of the group. Remember I said I'm building something out and we're going to put it out there to the public, but you guys get access to it. So I'll put it in the KOG Cafe, our private group. I'm getting it tightened up right now. So I'm going to put it in there and let a couple of you give me your emails or you sign up for it. I'll put the invite page on there and you go ahead and put your email and set a password and then see if you have access to it. And I'm not putting it out like just to the public yet because I have to pay for usage. So if I put it out, then like 1 million people like using it, I'll go broke. So this is going to be just for our private group, just for you guys who are in there. And anybody else who wants to get in there, I'll put the link down in the description after the video and that. But let me put chickens in here for an example and show you guys. And if you guys have any questions about anything else, this is just one thing I've been working on. So if you have any questions about anything else, just pop it in the chat. All right, so say we woke up, we've got chickens. We'll pop it in there and see that, see like less than 10 seconds, right? And you've got 8 ideas. It says ultimate chicken ASMR sound test. Is there anything more satisfying than a chicken crunch? So that's saying do ASMR. 3 warning signs your chickens have mites. That's in depth. That's a informative one. Creative. Diary of a low ranking chicken. Point of view, you're at the bottom of the pecking order. And then it tells you what to do there. A point of view video following a day in the life of the lowest ranking chicken or hen in the pecking order. The genius coop hack you didn't know you needed. Store-bought versus homegrown, the shocking truth. That's about eggs. Worst case of main character syndrome, chicken edition. Creative, operation, sneak into the kitchen. The heist of the century is happening in my backyard. So creative is always going to be kind of like a little funny thing, or that gives you ideas to do that aren't just strictly like information. So these would be more entertainment. Chicken myth busting, the protein secret, in depth. So you have all of those, and what you can do is, like, if you see some, you might think a couple of them is a good idea, or you might think one's a good idea for like a long form video. And what you can do is just click your favorite up there, and that will save it. So when you come back like the next day, you've got saved up here. You click on that and your saved ones are going to be in there. Then you go back to generate. So that was chicken. So you can put in here, somebody come up with something. Cookies. We're always talking about cookies, right? Within 10 seconds, you've got like 8 ideas. The 10-minute air fryer cookie challenge. Classic versus healthy, the cookie showdown. If cookies were people, trending edit. The secret technique, what is pan banging? Cookie science, why are yours failing? And so every day you can get like 8 different ideas. Anyhow, so that's just one thing that we're working on. Evening from Phoenix. Cool deal. So anybody got any questions? The people who are in our group about what's been going on? Sorry I didn't get on, let's see, last night. I know we get together on Sundays. It was Easter, so I want to give everybody a break. And then last night was just really storming. I have Facebook page with friends. Is it better to revamp that page or build a new one? It depends, Phyllis, and like how many friends do you have? And if your friends are you've got to decide if you're going to get monetized to earn income, or if you're going to sell to people. So if you're going to sell to people, are your friends the people that you want to be selling to? Are they just friends, or was that built on like an interest? If it's going to be like monetized in that, you can just put out content, and then it depends on your engagement in that. And sooner or later, you can get into the program, but it takes a while to get into the Facebook creator program. They don't have a set of requirements like YouTube, where YouTube says you need 1,000 followers and 4,000 hours of watch time. And it's easy to track. And once you hit that, if you haven't broken any community guidelines, you can apply for it. And Facebook's a little more vague about everything. They kind of invite you in once you get going. That is awesome. What if your practices are controversial? Yeah, that all depends. If you're going to use like the popular ones like Facebook and YouTube, even TikTok, it's got to be things that don't go against the community guidelines. And if you want to get monetized, it can't be like controversial stuff. But if you just want to put content out and you want to grow an audience, you can do controversial. Then you can grow an audience, and then you can work on getting like brand deals and sponsorships and things like that. If you want to get monetized, go ahead and look up, like if you're interested in YouTube or Facebook, and look up their guidelines for YouTube's called the partner program, and YouTube would Facebook would just be the creator program, and look up their community guidelines and that too, like off-labeling worming and chicken, off-label worming and chickens. Yeah, I don't think you'd have any problem with that. They consider controversial stuff that has to do with like politics, current events, things that are like distressing. You know, I want to say all the words in that, but the controversial subjects, but like that, I don't think you would have any problem with that. There was someone started putting some videos out to Valerie in our group, and she put out a few this past week, which is awesome. Starting to do it. Oh no, none of that. Yeah, yes, I want to worry about it. That's all they're worried about, because the way you make your money when you're monetized is advertisers. So when people are paying for advertising, they don't want to put their ads in front of controversial stuff. So that's the only reason. But if you're talking about that, and you can grow an audience, you know, anything that has to do with like gardening, farming, homesteading, you know, all those would probably, you know, place ads on that. So that's all they're worried about as far as like, you know, what's controversial and not. Is the only reason why they are is because they, you know, need the advertisers to pay for it. Valerie, yeah, put some stuff out. Valerie's like a gold mine. There's a lot of you guys that I said, you know, you're sitting on a gold mine if you can just start pumping out content, building up your audience. And you guys don't know that putting out content is just practicing, right? And the more you practice, the better you get. And you never know when one video, because the algorithm sees you putting content out, that you keep showing up and keep putting content out, it's going to keep trying to put you in front of the right audience. And then when you put that one video out that clicks, then you're off to the races. There's a lot of creators that's what's happened. It's not that they work for years and years and put all these videos out and it took years, you know, for all of them to grow. It's that they were working, and then all of a sudden one video went viral. And then all of a sudden you start building your following from that. So do I just Google KOG Cafe, never run out of ideas? No, this is going to be inside of our private group. I don't know if you're in there yet. Who's that? Forden. This will be in our private group. People paid. We had a lifetime access that I started with. I think I got it closed now, but they got in there. I might open it up, but I'm getting some of the stuff built out, and it's a monthly membership with an option for lifetime membership, but we haven't got it opened up yet. We're building it out, and this is one of the things that we're building. Which would be the best to start with, Facebook or YouTube, or both at the same time? I would do both at the same time. If you talk to any of the gurus out there, they're going to tell you to do one. They're going to tell you to lean into one. And my problem with always leaning into one, let's see if I can pop this out of here. My problem with leaning into one is that you spend your time to build an audience, and then if something happens to that channel, you don't own it. So you don't own Facebook, you don't own YouTube and everything. And I've seen people with hundreds of thousands of followers, like the channel just disappears. And all of a sudden, all of your crowd is gone, and you're having to start from zero. But if you go ahead, it's easy to cross post, especially if you're putting up content like this, vertical video, shorts and reels. You can get started like that, and you can cross post those like within 15 minutes. When I make a video and I upload it to either YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, one of those, Facebook and Instagram, if you get those set up right, they've got a business suite, and Facebook bought Instagram, right? So when you go to upload you can upload to Facebook and Instagram at the same time. You can click on those and it'll automatically go to your stories. Within a couple of minutes, when you're done with that, you just upload it to YouTube. It takes another couple of minutes, and then you can upload it to TikTok. And the best thing is to talk to each one of them natively and tweak it a little bit. But in the beginning, you don't have time to make a bunch of videos, but it doesn't hurt to put it out on all the different platforms, because you don't know which one that might have performed good. And I'm just telling people this because I put up my videos on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There's not many videos that perform well on all four of them. So you put it up and you kind of get an idea what's going to do good on TikTok or YouTube. But sometimes you never can tell. You put it up and Facebook just takes off. It finds your right crowd. So if you're just taking a couple extra minutes to repost it, I would have a profile on all four of those platforms and repost to each one. And that's how I've got 300 followers, 300,000 followers on YouTube, over 300,000 followers on Instagram, 400,000 followers on TikTok, and over 1 million here on Facebook. This guy outdoor with Eric, if you follow him, I remember he started out with 0 too. We both started about the same time. He's up over 5 million right now. I think it might be 6 million. But Facebook headquarters asked him to come out and talk with them about him and him engaging with his community and how he did it. But I would be as many places as possible. And then whichever one starts to grow, figure out why those videos are doing good on that platform and lean into that and start growing that one, but don't ignore the other ones. And then upload to that one first, and then take your content and cross post it to the other ones. So I don't have like a workflow where I go in and I upload to Facebook, Instagram, then I go to TikTok, then I go to YouTube or whatever. Whichever platform is doing the best at the time. If I have the video, unless it's just like a stupid video that I just want to put on TikTok, if it's basically the same one I'm going to cross post, I'll look and see which platform is doing the best, which one's growing the fastest, which one's getting me the most engagement, and I'll drop it there first. And then I'll wait and see if it starts doing good. I won't even drop it on the other platforms. Now, if it starts a little bit and then it kind of plateaus, then I'll go ahead and drop it on the next one. Then if that one plateaus, I try it on the next one. So it just takes a couple of minutes. If you want to, like I was saying, within 15 minutes, you can actually just upload it to all four and see what happens. I mean, to me, if you were making different content for each one, it would take an extraordinary amount of time. And if you're going to be making like long form video, but now you can put like, I think up to either 10 or 20 minutes on TikTok, which is crazy because from the very beginning, we built an audience, on TikTok with like 1 minute videos. And now you can upload like a 10 or 20 minute video over there. And then your long form you can put on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Sounds good. Thank you for this valuable information. I've been thinking about becoming a content maker for a while now. No problem. No problem. Hey, and it's very rewarding. But what we try to teach you is there's no like silver bullet. There's no get rich quick kind of thing. You want to focus on bringing people value. You're making your content. You're either going to provide information or you're going to provide entertainment, or a little of both. If you're good enough, you can do like both. Most of the ways, except for affiliate links, take a little while. So if you need money like quick, and I don't mean like tomorrow, if you need money like tomorrow, you need to go out to the thrift shops and buy something cheap and go on Facebook Marketplace and put it up there and sell stuff really quick like that. If you within a couple of months, if you want to start making money, I'd start building an audience on these platforms. And that's what I'm talking about, just putting content. You got to put content out. If nobody knows who you are, you're not going to grow anything. But if you just start putting content out, grow a little bit of an audience, almost every major company out there has an affiliate program right now. Even this StreamYard right here, I could click and put an affiliate link for StreamYard in the chat. And if you guys clicked on it and you got the paid subscription, I'd get like a free month. The most popular one's Amazon. Amazon's cool. I don't know how long it'll be like that. It's been like it ever since I started, but they've got what you call a tracking cookie. And if you go on over and generate a link, you guys all hear people, hey, you know, links to this will be in the description. If you know, click on it, it's going to help support me and blah, 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 right? Anyhow, if you click on the link and it's an Amazon link, they put a tracking cookie on your computer. Now, it doesn't matter if you buy that product or not. So if I show you like this jar and I say, you know, here's the link for these mason jars down in the description, and you click that link and you see the mason jars and you go, I'll get them later, or they cost too much. Amazon shows you on the side, you might need this, you might need that, right? Hey, you're getting low on this, or people who viewed this also bought this, right? All those suggestions. And you guys know you fell for it, right? You went looking for something, you end up putting other stuff in your buggy. If you buy anything in the next 2 days and 48 hours, that person still makes a commission off of it. So even though I'm like in the gardening space, and most of the stuff that I was doing was like the trays, like we have the little growing trays, right? So I would put that link and I said, hey, if you want to grow peas like this, here's the tray. And people, I say comment tray, they get a link to it. Lots of people go over there to buy a tray. But then when I look at my analytics, you know, maybe 25% of people actually bought that tray. And the other people are buying all kinds of stuff. Like one person bought a zip line for their backyard. When somebody bought a generator, you know, so you're getting a bigger commission on things. People just see books, clothing, you know, anything they need. So as long as Amazon, once you shoot them the traffic over there, if they get them hooked and they buy anything in the next 2 days, you get credit for it. I don't think any other affiliate program does that. But does Amazon only pay just a few cents for affiliates? Yeah, it's about 4 cents. It's about 4%. It depends on what it is. So I drive thousands of dollars worth of sales over there. But you got to realize you're just a lead generator. You're not even you're not salesman. They're the salesman. The person who's selling the stuff is the retailer. Amazon is the promoter. Amazon has the traffic. Amazon handles all of the customer service. And if the people put it as FBA, then Amazon's handling warehousing the stuff and shipping and everything too. So they're 99% running the business, and all you're doing is saying, hey, go click this link. So that you're not really doing all that much. You're just driving traffic. So other things will have bigger affiliate commissions, like some courses or books, or, you know, people like me. I was going to put my course up and say, you guys can sell it and I'll give you 80% commission, right? But I don't have 1 billion people coming through my store every day, right? And basically they're just going to go in and buy into the online course. It just takes their email, they're in, they watch some videos, they learn something, they're out. I don't have to pack something up, ship it, handle customer service and all of that. So I can afford to do that. But the reason why the commissions are so low is just, they used to be a little higher, and he dropped Bezos so he could be a little richer, I guess. But you're not going to get a whole lot off of affiliate commissions just for saying click this link. Hi chat, who's it? Hey, how are you doing? Astatine. Cool deal. Hey, anybody have any more questions? Like I said, I'm not going to keep y'all here too long tonight. And because we'll be coming back up on Sunday really quick. We're just off because of Easter Sunday. And I want to show you that little idea generator I'm working on. And guys, I know some of you seen like the AI. We talked about AI last week. I'm playing with some of the new models in that. and it's just crazy. So I kind of closed the program. I took it out of our Whatnot shop, the access, the lifetime access, and that was going up. Some people were paying $47.99 for it, but I closed it because I got to really decide what to do. Things are moving really fast, and from what I'm hearing and seeing, if we're not careful and we don't watch what's going on, and that's why I said you have to become, the product. You have to become like the face of whatever you're trying to sell, because people with AI are just going to run rampant, and it's not with like stupid pictures that have like 6 fingers or anything anymore. The stuff that I've been watching, I made a quick little 1-minute short, and I did it in a day, and it just blew my mind. I haven't put it out yet. When you guys see it, it's going to be crazy. This is like still baby steps. It was just a couple years ago. We put in a prompt, and the stupid picture would come up, and everybody make fun of it, right? A year from now, you're not going to be able to tell the difference unless they pass regulations, which this administration is trying to put a moratorium on the any kind of regulation of AI. So they don't want to regulate anything. If they don't regulate stuff where they have to disclose if it's AI or not, a year from now, you guys are not going to be able to tell. Trust me. What's popping? How you doing, Maniac? And this is stuff that I'm not an expert at it. There's a bunch of people, what prompt crafting is, making the prompt, figuring all the stuff out. Just going in and taking a simple prompt and putting it in, and the results that come out, and then tweaking it a little bit is just crazy. I've been doing this, if you guys have been following me for like a couple of years, like on YouTube and Facebook, and I actually, when Midjourney first started releasing where everybody could use it, I put a couple of pictures out. I was generating pictures and putting them up, and they were like, all right. The stuff that's coming out now is simple. I learned it, the new program, in a day. The next day, I was generating characters, and they've got it to where it'll lip sync. They've got it to where you can pick your own voice. They've got consistent characters, and that was a big problem before, was that like it would generate a picture, right? But then the next scene, it'd look a little different. The next scene would look a little different, and they would have problems making longer segments like shorts or long form video, because you couldn't have a consistent character. Now you can go in and build out a model sheet. You can go ahead and take like the same character, make a picture, then get a side view, get a back view, a top view, and just like you would do like on a model character sheet, and you can build these out, and you can save those inside of these models, inside of like the platform. And then when you generate a new picture, a starting frame, and then you generate a video from that, when you animate it, it's coming out with the same consistent character, because you're feeding that into it. That's why on Instagram there's a AI influencer, and it says AI influencer. People know it's AI, but she's got like millions of followers. Brand deals. People are paying like $100,000 for a post. I forget how many millions of dollars whoever made that AI character, that account is making millions of dollars a year. It was on like Forbes or something. And there's a bunch of them popping up now. If you see any that are like with a little guru or a monk or an Amish guy or the Wolf of Wall Street, or, pick whatever character, they can take that character now, build it out, make its own voice, and put all this into a character worksheet and save it. And then the wacky part is there's these other programs, Claude, Cowork, they've got a bunch of them that you can go and ask how to set all this stuff up. you can ask and you can get it to automate it. And it can go ahead and you can say, give me 100 ideas or whatever, right? Give me ideas for 100 videos, and they'll pop them all out. And then you take all that stuff and you say, give me the prompt that I need to use with Midjourney, or give me the prompt that I need to use with Nano Banana, or give me the prompt I need for Higgsfield, or whichever one you're using, right? And ChatGPT, Claude, all of the, Gemini, all these will make the prompt. So you don't have to understand the prompt. All you have to do is explain it like you would explain to me what you want your picture to be. You put it in there, it generates a prompt, and then you take that and you plug it into the image generator, and it'll generate it for you. Then you just tweak it from there. You go, you know, could you take this spot? You can actually paint and say, could you change this to whatever? It's like mind blowing once you get to learn all the workflow and all these different things, how they work together. And people are actually doing this and making money already. And you guys have probably seen some where it's obvious. Like I said, if they put AI influence or whatever, and you guys have probably seen a bunch of them that you didn't even know. The stuff that I was generating, a couple of them, I was like, if I just pop this up there, the people that follow me for years know me. And if I put my video up, and if I put a different voice, a robot voice or something on me, they can tell. But if somebody sees it, which if you're trying to grow an audience, right, you're not going after your base. You already have them. So you can make videos that they like and that, but you're always going after a new audience. If somebody hasn't seen you before and they don't know what your voice is and all that, they won't know the difference. The other thing I can do is sit and read for 15, 20, 30 minutes, upload that into some of these other programs, and it will clone my voice, and it'll be pretty good. Last year when you did that, it was still off like a great deal. It's getting like really close. And this is still the baby steps. So I can't imagine like another year or 2 years or 3 years from now, all of us, we won't, if we get up in the morning right now, if I want to shoot a video, I got to get up the night before, decide what I'm going to go out there. If I'm doing plants and what I'm going to harvest, what I'm going to get out there and do a script, get all my filming stuff out there before the sun starts coming up too high, you know, and go through all the filming, come in, edit. I forgot to shot, do that again. This whole stuff, all the stuff you guys are struggling with, you know, trying to make content. You can get up in the morning, not brush your hair, go sit down at your computer, and you'll be able to generate images. You can have your own avatar that the majority of people who see it aren't going to know the difference. And the new people that see it won't know the difference. And you'll be able to make videos while you're sitting in your pajamas sipping coffee. And that's what people are doing now. So that's what everybody's up against, is there's people in India and Pakistan and all over Africa and all these other countries that do nothing but sit in a building all day doing that, generating characters. Give me a script, you know, make it in English, make it, you know, do this, do that, plug it in, and it just automates it. It will generate these things, and it doesn't have to be an avatar. It can just be static words, which is the easiest, right? A little music, and it'll generate it. It'll upload it for you too. If you go through and just okay everything, and you can put it on autopilot, and it's just dumping your content out. Is it still better to show our real selves instead of AI avatars? Yeah, that's always going to be the differentiator. So that, because there's going to be people now, the heyday where everybody came out and they're all growing their big crowds and all that, those are going to be gone. It's going to be the people are going to put out there that it doesn't matter what I feel. It doesn't matter what we all feel like. The market decides. So if they put up an AI avatar and people watch it and people like it and people share it and they're like, hey, check this out. And people save it to watch later. And every time one pops up, they're watching it. They decide. So that's here right now. That's not like that's coming, that's on down the road. So there's going to be a lot of people, even though a lot of people and a lot of money goes through that because it's all advertising, brand deals and all of that, there's still going to be people that clock on and look through that don't like it, right? And they'll be like, not interested, don't show me this crap, right? And they're looking for the real people. So those are the people that you're looking for. If you want to grow an audience, those are the people you're looking for. Now, you're not going to grow a huge audience because a lot of that generic traffic that you had before that really doesn't matter are looking at all that other crap. So they can go ahead and do that. You're not really losing anything. The number's like a vanity metric. So like I have over 1 million followers on Facebook, right? We don't have 1 million people watching this. This video in a couple of weeks will only have a couple of thousand views. So I've seen Gary Vee, who I've been following for years and years and years. He's over 5 million, 6 million followers or something, right? And he'll go live. If he goes live, sometimes there's a couple hundred people in there. Sometimes there's 1,000, 2,000. Sometimes it's just a few hundred. And sometimes they drop a video and it'll get hundreds of thousands of views, and then the next one will get 800 views. So all of us, this is what he calls it. It's not really social media anymore. It's interest media. So the algorithms are figuring out by everybody, all the viewer, what you watch, how long you watch it, how often do you watch it, how often do you go back to it, how often are you sharing it, all those different metrics, and they're using that. Whereas before it was just like they would put up a thumbnail, and if people clicked on it and started watching a video, that was the metric they followed. So right now, you're not interested in all those people who are like just watching cat videos or something, and they're not on the internet, looking for anything specific. What you're going to be looking for is if you're talking about chickens. Everybody that logs on that day, 1 million people can log on. 1 million people are not looking for chickens, right? But if there's 100 people that are looking for chickens and they find your video and you hook them in and you can keep them, that's just as valuable as if you went out and showed your video to 200,000 people and only found 50 people, right? So that's basically what it's coming down to. And the people who are doing it where the vanity metrics were making them feel good, those days are like over. If you just want to get out there, you can do anything stupid and just make views. We make channels and delete them all the time, and make a channel and grow it to 1,000 followers and that, and get rid of it and try it again. Just see if we keep doing it and what we're teaching like still works. But if you're doing it to make money, right, you're gonna have to target the right people, and you don't need 1 million people that aren't interested in your stuff. You need the right people, and basically that's why it's interest media, is that the algorithms are trying to figure out who to put you in front of, because there's only so many eyeballs that are on these platforms, even though that's 1 billion people a day, right? Trial and error. How are you doing? Even though that's just all those people coming on there, that's only so many eyeballs, and they only have so much time. Like when you watch videos, you've only got, if you watch for like 3 hours, right? How many videos can you watch in 3 hours? But how many videos does YouTube show you? And when you're scrolling, so everybody, there's a finite supply, there's a finite demand, but there's like this infinite supply of videos where all these people are creating a bunch of just junk nowadays. So people have to sift through all that to find the good content. And unless they put like a gate on it, all of that still comes in. So they get this flood of all these videos, and they have to figure out who to put them in front of. There's not that that much to go around. So it's much better to be put in front of the right people, because you're getting less traffic than you would have before, because there's an surplus of content for the demand that's out there. If that makes any sense. So guys, what we're doing, I'm going to put the link inside our private group for that idea generator, and get a couple of you, because it might not work yet. This is going to be the first time I try. Hey, and this is the other thing we're talking about, AI, okay? You guys saw the way that thing worked? Let me share it real quick. Let me explain something to y'all real quick. And I'm not showing it to discourage people or to scare people. It's just, if you want to be a content creator, I want to let you know what you're up against what you're going to be up against. And, you know, this stuff's already happening now. I don't know how to do all this stuff. I don't know, you know, how to code. Do y'all know what that means? So it's like a programmer, right? And they will make, whenever you guys see anything you see on the internet, there's code behind it. There's programs that, and when things don't work, something broke down with that, right? Anyhow, before, people who went to trade school, college, whatever, or learned how to do this, if you wanted to do something, like if I wanted to make this app, I would have to go and find somebody like that, pay them money to build it out for me. I have to tell them exactly what I wanted, right? Let me put this up real quick again. And you know, this thing's not real difficult. Share screen. All right, is that a little bigger? All right, so that's up there, right? I've already gotten Python workflows in my content creation process. Awesome. That's cool. Let's see, you don't have to know about how to code. There are plenty of tools. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is, before, that's what you have to do. I don't know how to do that, right? Anyhow, so here's this thing. You come in here, it says never run out of ideas. See, it's got my logo, KOG Cafe, never run out of ideas. A little, you know, that takes, you have to build that kind of stuff out, right? Now they got programs, you go in and you say, I want to make an idea generator for content creators. And you do it, and the AI starts building it out for you. And you say, could you make it look like this? Could you change that? And you talk to it just like you would talk to someone, right? So this says cookies, and I go in, if I came in today and we're talking about seashells or something. Here, what would it call it? Shell collector. I say I'm a shell collector. And that's what my channel is about. You plug it in, less than 10 seconds later, boom, ideas pop up. The ultimate seashell ASMR collection, the science of hearing the ocean, confessions of a shell hunter, and it gives you a little title. Some people collect memories. I collect pieces of the ocean's history. A cinematic, moody vlog using a main character voiceover. Show the creator walking on a foggy beach at sunrise, searching for that one specific rare shell, right? How to clean your shells. That's in depth. Is it empty? The 3-step check. In depth. Trending. The shell collector identity trend. So you're identifying different shells. Shell personality. Creative. Seashells, the original currency. What if we replace the US dollar with ocean treasures? You know, it's just a funny little video to make, right? And just making this, and it tells you how many views these are getting right now. This one's trending, gets between 200 and 800,000 views. If you like this one, you go ahead and you say, oh, I might make a video about that later. You click heart, you save it, you come back here to save tomorrow, and you've still got them in here, right? Sign in, sign out. Just doing that kind of stuff. Just doing that kind of stuff would take a lot of time and money. You'd have to go pay somebody to do that before. And now me, that I don't know anything about it, I went and paid for one of these. I think it was only 25 bucks a month or something. And paid for one of these, went in there, told AI what I wanted, and it built that thing out. And now I'm going to put it inside our group so you guys can kind of see it. But this is what we're up against. So all the people that are doing, taking these courses with gurus, and they're telling you, yeah, make a checklist, make this, make that. You know, now they're having to teach people how to use AI because everybody's out there. Everybody has the ability to do this. So if you're just giving a checklist as an opt-in, anybody can go on ChatGPT and say, make me a checklist about XYZ or whatever, and it'll make it up for them. They don't need you anymore. So all these opt-ins and everything that people are using, they don't really need it. On 1 second, trying to get back. So that's what's being done right now. So everybody, when somebody said, is it better to use AI avatars or your real face? If you want to build an authentic audience, you use your real face and you get on there. But if you can't, this is the perfect time for people who are shy and don't want to be on camera. Now, before, if you didn't want to be on camera, this is what you did, right? You just had one of the videos where you were just doing just your hands, maybe a voiceover, right? Or everything was all graphics. But now you can go into one of these programs and you can make an avatar. It doesn't even have to look like you, in case you're afraid of people figuring out who you are, where you live and everything. You can just make any avatar. You literally take it. You take a picture, like if you want it to look like, like if you took my picture and put it in there, and you say, just use this for reference because I want them to have like a gray beard and mustache or whatever, right? And you describe what you want. And you describe the clothes, you describe the background, and it generates the whole thing for you. And if you don't like it, you just do it a couple of times. I think it was like 2 credits. So you could keep, generating, get it right. And then when you get that one right, then they've got, this was in Higgsville. They've got where it's called shots, and it'll make 9 shots. You take that one. So if I get, like, this is what I want, right? I take this picture and I put it into there, and it'll give you 9 different angles of that one picture. Now all of a sudden you've got 9 different angles using that. Then you can also take it, like I said, and do like face forward, take that picture, right? And then you can do your side angle. You can take and say, all right, take this character, now generate it looking 45 degrees to the left. Now generate it doing 45 degrees to the right, right? You get all of those. What's up, Patty? And you put that into a description. You save that as your model. You actually build the AI influencer in these programs and save it, and then you can use it over and over and over again. So it's crazy. So, like I said, I'm not saying everybody has to do this. If you're camera shy and you never want to be on camera, you go pay a little bit for one of these programs, and you can like literally make your videos and it'll look like somebody's on there just doing anything. They've got influencers. You can say, make it a picture of somebody selfie mode, like they're holding a camera, and your picture will be like this, right? Like they're talking like that. And then when that picture's right, you literally push a button that says animate. You pick like between 4 and 15 seconds. You can say, make the character say, hey, I'm Mike, I'm heading to the mall or whatever, right? And it will do it, and it will be lip sync just right. And if you want to change your voice in the character, there's this other thing you can do. You can generate it in like 11 Labs. You can put your script into there. You don't even have to say it yourself. You just type your script in. It will generate the voiceover. Then you can take that and put it in and do a lip sync. So like I'm saying, everybody doesn't have to do this. I just want you guys to know what's going on, and that in the very near future, you won't be able to tell the difference. There's a lot of them that are out there already that are making videos, and I've seen it on through my feed, just pictures, not even videos, and people can't even tell it's AI. And those get tons of engagement because they made a picture of something that like I couldn't grow. I could try and they've got this perfect looking picture. Here's how you grow, a pepper plant with 40 peppers or whatever, right? And it'll look like the perfect friggin' plant. And it'll get a ton of engagement because everybody's seen it and going, how do you do that? Or I do this, you do that. And it gets all kinds of engagement and it blows up. And then all of us go and actually spend time growing something, taking a picture of something you think you're proud of, and you put it out there, and then you get like 10 views or something, right? So that's what we're up against. So you guys, if you want to make money online, if you want to still build a crowd, you're going to have to be focused on your perfect avatar. And that's why I say put out content now, keep practicing, put it out, because these other people are dumping shitloads of content out there every second of the day. And like when some Teresa said about if it's better to be show your face or AI avatar, if you're going to lean into you being your brand, you want to get yourself out there as much as possible and be the imperfect like this. Don't go and pretty everything up and get everything just right. The more perfect you get it, the more you're going to look like AI. AI is trying to make everything perfect and perfect. So if you can make it a little more imperfect right now, if you're just starting out, I think that's going to help you out a lot more. And be straight up with people. I'm just starting. There's a lot of people, I'm nervous about it. They say it's oversaturated, but I got a lot of stuff to share with people. I think it can help people, or, I just want to connect with people that are like me and be straight up with them and tell them, so I'm just starting out. I'm growing. And if you like it, I hope you follow along and you'll start to find your crowd. The old way of doing it, where you come out and just dump stuff out and just make, try to get a huge following. Most of the time that today won't pay. There's been some influencers out there that have like millions of followers. And I think there was one famous one, made merch, was all happy. I'm making merch, right? I'm excited about it. I know y'all want it. And then came out and put it out and did not sell one t-shirt with millions of people following her. So you don't want to go through all that work and everything, right? And not be able to generate any income out of it. Otherwise it's just a hobby. So if this is just a hobby, you get out here and you just have fun. If you want to generate income, you're going to want to build the right audience to follow you. So that's what I get. A lot of people like telling me whenever I put, like, if I have this right now, this is on Facebook, this is on the YouTube, the KOG Cafe. If I go and keep on growing and I have this up, sometimes I'll do that because some of my followers need to make money. I'll put it up there and I'll lose a lot of followers. And I'll get people like, I didn't sign up for this. I've been following you for years. I'm out of here. I don't beg anyone to stay because they're not my target audience. They got what they needed and they're gone. So the thing about, just getting a big number now really means nothing if you can't generate income off of it. So I'm focused on helping people. So I come out and just speak my truth. And if people don't want to hear, I've been giving out like free content for 6 years before I even mentioned I had stuff for sale. So all of that stuff is still out there. I still give out free content. I still tell people how to grow stuff. I got a tray of peas over there. I don't even sell the tray, and I show people how to do that. They get all excited about it. I don't make anything off of that, right? But then the minute I say, hey, I've got something for sale, they're like, you're a sellout, just like everyone else. I'm out of here, right? They're not your perfect avatar. I don't beg them to stay. The people that I'm looking for are the people who need to grow food, who do want something, who's been looking for a solution. So that might not be 1 million people on Facebook, right? But if it's a couple hundred, then that's what I'm looking for. So an algorithm will find those people. So that's why I'm okay with people like every day saying, I'm not up for this. I didn't sign up for this. And I'll, like, when I go live like this, if I go live on Keep on Growing with this, I'll lose a dozen followers like in the first couple of minutes. But it doesn't stop me from coming on and doing it again, because I might have a couple more people found me that didn't find me before, or who have been following me for a while and been looking for something like this. So I find the right people that I need, and those people are more valuable than 100 people are going to just be, jerks about, like they have the power of, I'm going to unfollow you, or I'm going to thumbs down and stuff like that. So you got to be prepared for all that, and just realize you're not going for a big number nowadays. So you can see, like, I've got a big number, doesn't matter. I can put out a video, you can put out a video tomorrow, and both our videos, you can do better than me because you might get the right engagement. And I might put something out, get a lot of views, not make any sales out of it. You might put something out and get like only 100 views, but you might get 10 sales out of it. So you just got to know right from the beginning of what you're doing. I've always told people that, it's treating this like it's marketing. If you want to make money at it, you've got to treat it like a business. And to me, we've been helping people, and we've been doing that for like 6 years before we even started selling anything. That's because Gary Vee guy got me in. I was watching him, and he was saying jab, 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 right hook, right? So he said, you give value, and that's what we did. And when we're doing that, you find out you feel good, and you help people, and that's rewarding in itself. So if you can keep your head above water while you're doing that, you generate a lot of goodwill. You help people. 99% of them might never buy anything from you ever, right? But sooner or later, when you do have something to sell, or you have a course, or you've got something, if you listen to them, like my ebook is not anything, it's not a novel, doesn't teach you everything about hydroponics, but it teaches you the basics. And I said, you focus on like the new people are coming in, and I put it's a ebook, and it's about off-grid hydroponics, and it teaches you the basics. So if you're a beginner, you need this. And if you've been watching me for like 6 years and you know the basics, you don't really need it, right? But you've got it there. But I think that that's valuable for the people who first find me, that they don't sit and watch 200 hours of videos to try and figure out how to stick a plant and nutrient solution, right? So I know I'm bringing them value if I'm only selling it for 10 or 20 bucks. But if I save them 3, 4, 5 days, how much is your time worth? Even if it was just one entire day, and I saved you that time of sitting and doom scrolling through all the videos, right? I think that I brought you some value. So if you think that, you start making things out. That's what people fail to realize when they make a product or make anything, is trying to think how it's going to help somebody. They're just trying to make something. And if you make something, I've seen some people like, 3D printing something. It's kind of pretty, it's not there to help anyone. It's just something like a vase, or, like this wouldn't help anybody, right? It might help them smile, but that's a little different. You're making a product where that's more of an impulse buy. But if you're trying to earn income by making like online courses and having memberships and online coaching and things like that, you've got to think all of your stuff, how you're bringing value to people. And that comes from like just listening to people for years. And that's what all those years of me putting out free content and helping people was, I kept getting input back from people. And once in a while, what do you need? New Year's Day, I think I put out a video and said, hey, it's a brand new year or whatever. If you could wave a magic wand and get any question answered, what would you ask? And all of a sudden you've got a bunch of questions. You've got your content for the next couple of months. You can go in there and just pick questions out of there and create content around it. And people are going to watch it because those are the questions that they have. So those are the things that are going to help moving forward. Those are the things that AI is really not going to be able to do. It'll be able to scrape questions, find out what people are looking for, SEO, and generate videos and put them out. But really getting really nitpicky and real dialed in and real personal with people, it's not going to be able to do that. And that's where, if you want to compete, moving forward, that's what you guys are going to have to like really dial in. So that's why I closed the program too, is because I got to figure all this out, because all the stuff that I was like teaching and everything, and all these gurus who are doing it out there too, everything's changing, and all the stuff that they teach, and they're charging people thousands of dollars. This landscape is changing like by the day. So people are like literally wasting their money, like throwing their money at these people who figured something out a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. None of that shit works anymore. And if anything did work even yesterday, it could change tomorrow. So the only way is to stay on top of stuff and analyze and adapt, or you're just going to be left behind. People take a long time to figure out what they're going to do and put this whole thing together, just like writing a book back in the day, right? If you want to be an author, somebody would go off into the woods with their typewriter in their little cabin and write for years and years and come up with their novel, and right. And then you put it out, nobody wants it. Same thing. We're all doing the same thing. Everything that we do is just repeating history over and over and over again. So this is all just like the radio. replacing newspaper and TV, replacing the radio. You know, those things are still around, but they're not as popular. And the new thing comes along, and all of this was popular. This kind of replaced TV. TV's still there, cable's still there, but a lot of people cut their cable, right? And now social media is here, and now interest media is kind of shadowing that, and then AI is just going to like come and just pull the rug out from under everybody, because it's not a handful of people anymore. The thing before was that you had to have a programmer. If anybody knows what a funnel is, marketing funnel is just where you go out and you put out a video, a sales letter, an opt-in, you put out something, feelers, and you get a bunch of people interested, right? And those people get what you call dropped into a funnel. And from there, those people, you do something. You might have a little sales letter, you might have a sales call, you might have a webinar. You do different things, and you keep dropping them down, narrowing them down to the people that you can sell to. And one of the really popular ones is called click funnels. And that was like one of the first ones. All of the stuff, when he first started doing that, the idea of making a funnel, he didn't make it himself. He had to go and get people and pay like tens of thousands of dollars for like each step of it to put these things together, right? Right now, I can go into AI program and go build me a funnel for this. Go on, keep on growing, and look at my channels on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Look at all my videos. Figure out what this is about. You know, ask me any questions that you need, and build me a funnel where I can have an opt-in page. Build it out to, you know, tell me the exact crowd that I need to, the audience that I need to sell to or pitch to, and I can go and do Facebook ads and build that audience just like AI told me to. And all of that stuff was either you were paying a lot of people before to do it, or you had to figure it out yourself, and that took a lot of time. You can do it in literally 10 minutes now. And it's crazy, and that's what all these people are doing. So that thing, ClickFunnels, they spent, and you're talking about billions of dollars now and everything, and that entire industry and all of that right now, AI can do it in 10 seconds. And people don't have to go and pay $99 a month anymore. All you need is a website somewhere, and AI, you go to GoDaddy or Namecheap or Cloudflare or something and get you a domain, and go on to one of these AIs and to ask them, how do I build a website? How do I do a funnel? How do I do a sales letter? How do I do an opt-in page to get people to opt in so I can get their emails and build an email list? And you just keep asking the questions and it spits it out like that fast. Content creation. You guys, like, I gave you that idea generator, right? You go and you get that idea generator and you go, well, that sounds cool, but how would I make a video? You go into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it is, Gemini, and you plug that in and say, hey, this is the idea. How would I make a 30-second or how would I make a 1-minute video out of that? And I don't have those resources. How can I do it with this, this, and this? I only have this. I only have this much time. I only have this camera. And it'll keep giving you answers. There's no excuses anymore. Everybody's got the capacity. Everybody's got the information. Everybody's got the resources to do these things. All that people are lacking is the will to do it. So there's a ton of people out there that are willing to do it. So that's why I said it's getting tougher and tougher. And I want to help everyone that's in our group. If you know, the people that are serious, the people are just curious, just keep being curious, just keep watching, just keep learning, keep up with it. When you feel like it, you jump in. But from what I'm hearing, like all this AI stuff, if it doesn't change, if it keeps on the path it's going, that most of us creators probably aren't going to have a job in like 10 years. Some are saying 5 or even shorter than that. So it's only fair to the people. I mean, if it's going to replace cashiers, drivers, it's going to replace white collar workers that everybody's worried about. You know, oh, it's all the blue collar workers and like the robots and the arms and mechanics and everything, right? And all of a sudden AI comes along. Anybody that does anything that's just having to do with figures, research, looking stuff up, coming up with ideas, just anybody whose job is just they said like 90% of white collar workers jobs could be like gone by 2030, which is like friggin' mind blowing. And if you get in and you play with these things, if you can just blow it off and go, oh, that they're just saying that. If you get in and start playing with these things, and if you've been doing it for years and you see where it came from and where it's at now in 2 years, in 3 years, it's going to be crazy, because these things are self-perpetuating and building off of each other. And I think it's Anthropic or whatever, Cloud, one of these big programs, they started building it, and then they used that AI to keep building it. So it was like they came out with the minimal viable product kind of thing, and then they went ahead and plugged that thing back in to keep on building. And all that goes from there is either blows up and we're all in trouble, or it goes exponentially faster. I'm an insurance adjuster. AI is slowly taking over tasks. Yeah, it's great. And my dad, that's what he did for a job, and I know exactly what you're talking about, because I worked with him for a while, and we did insurance inspections. But he was an insurance adjuster. But anybody does any kind of like clerical work and things like that, it's going to start where they're going to come in and it's going to replace, like, it's not going to be everybody at once. It might be half the workforce, and it'll be like one person where there were 5 people before. Now there's one person overseeing 4 AI agents, or what they're calling them. Look up agentic AI. So I can go into like Claude Cowork, and I can build an agent, which is an actual like person. He's not real, he's virtual. But they give them names. You have somebody and call him Kenny, and Kenny is going to go through my emails. I can connect them to my emails, which I want to do, but some people do this. You can connect them to your emails, to your Google Drive, connect them to all of your social media platforms, but you can be specific and say, all Kenny's going to do is look at my emails every day, go through them, sift through them, find out which ones are important, which ones aren't, so I don't have to do all that. Find out which ones might be generating a lead, and which ones are just people that are curious, and which ones are just spam, and organize the ones that are going to be leads, and then look at my calendar and actually like start plugging people up in there. And if you're okay with it, you let them go, or they can give you suggestions for you to look at and to, okay, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, and you set them up. So now you've got an employee, it's called an agent, that's virtual, it's just AI, and it's not doing anything, the creative work and stuff, you're going to still need people in that. But like if you're a small company, like me and my wife just run this, I could use a little bit of help with certain things. And if it's something like a repetitive task that just gets done day after day, if I could get somebody to just watch my social media and answer questions, like everybody that answers the same thing, asks what nutrients to use, right? Where do you get those white things? Where do you get, and to me, I would have to go through and put in keywords, microgreen grower, adapter, white thing, or whatever, right? AI will understand when people are asking for this, more times than not, and be able to just point them the way, and me not do anything. And that's what all this agentic AI stuff is right now. And this is all stuff that's being done where an idiot like me can see it and use it. And I actually signed up for them and started building some of the stuff out. I haven't built out the agent stuff yet, because I still been messing around with the video generation and everything, which is just like totally like mind boggling. Clinton Cooper, what is up? So post a handful of things and then go in my way. Oh, yeah, the flooding issues, right? Took up some time and days off posting. Results: in-shop customers increased by 45% on posting days. See, that's awesome. And that's what we gotta look for, is that if you're doing something like digital sales, right? Online stuff, you've got the whole world you can sell to, right? But if you're like, they're talking about, they actually have brick and mortar store. You put out content, right? And you guys can be creative. Like you did a couple creative things, put those out, be as wild as you want on some, be informative on some, talk straight to certain people on some, and just test different types of content. And when one of those like all of a sudden takes off, because sooner or later one of them will, you can actually run ads. You can start at $5 a day. It's not like, before it was like you need $1,000, $10,000 to run an ad, right? You can run ads for like $5 a day, $10 a day, $20 a day, and you can target. You can take the video that performed. You don't have to do anything to it. You can boost that video, or you can take that and run it as an ad, and you can target people in your area within a 10-mile radius, within your city. It depends on how much you sell, and if people are traveling and coming through, you can target people like within your area. And when they sign on and look through, and the sponsor ad that pops up is going to be yours, and it's in the same city. That's powerful stuff. And you're showing them content that already performed well, instead of you like trying to go make an ad and go, what should I do? And you're trying to think of a commercial and everything. You've got the time to experiment, put a bunch of crap out, right? Have fun. This works, that didn't work. I'll try something more like this again. Keep leaning in on it. And when you get something that like blows up, dump money in behind of it. And that's the best advertising that any business, and all the businesses, if you're trying to compete with Walmart, Amazon, all of this stuff, if you're a small business, everybody should be doing this, is just dropping content like every day, behind the scenes, inside, show people, give them tips, tricks. And then when something takes off, all you have to do is just run an ad and target people right around your area. And then when you do that too, give them a discount code, give them a coupon code or something, or say, I saw you on Instagram, come in and I'll give you an extra 10% off. And when those people start doing that, then you know that they came directly from that one post that you went and ran an ad on. There's all kinds of stuff you can do for now. Doesn't cost a whole lot, that you would have paid thousands of dollars for like 10 years ago. Bodily injury adjuster. AI already reads and summarizes our attorney's demands. A huge part of it. Yeah. I can. I made a little post. I made a post and I put it up on my personal page about the lead health insurance. People are wanting all AI. They want to get rid of radiologists reading like X-rays and stuff. They started plugging it in where they take the X-ray, plug it in, and AI interprets it. And that's what, like, radiologists would do that, right? They would do that. They look at it and say, we think this, right? They're already doing it with a handful, where instead of using radiologists, they're using AI. And it's working to the point where they want to get rid of all radiologists that are that aspect of their job. And we're like, that's a little above white collar work, right? I mean, you're talking to this, like, people who are like in the medical field now, that they're just talking about in a few years, all those jobs might be gone. That's crazy. But that's what America is. I don't know how it's going to go around the rest of the world. All the corporations are set up to make money. That's their objective, is to turn a profit. And if they can get rid of people and have more of a bottom line, and shareholders make more money, that's what they all do. Robot surgeons. Yep, we already got some in the hospital up here, and they're not doing it by themselves. Surgeons there and using it, but how long is it going to be before they just start trusting them to do it, and somebody's just sitting there watching? So all of these things are coming fast. Just think, it wasn't too long ago you weren't checking yourself out at the grocery store, right? And a lot of the grocery stores now, there's like eight checkouts and one cashier watching over it, where that would have been 8 cashiers before. So we thought, okay, those are going to go away. Then we have driverless cars starting. It's not perfect. They're getting in wrecks, they're blocking emergency vehicles, getting run over by trains. There's all kinds of stuff, but this is just growing pains that's going through. But unless like something like bad just happens like massively, they're going to keep on with it. Okay, that drivers are gone, right? So they're not to where now you're talking about people that are making like 80, 90, 100,000 a year, 150 a year, right? Talking about people like that, the jobs are like, where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Their jobs are just going to like evaporate and be gone. And it's going to be a frigging computer program doing it. So I would really look at what I do and think, can AI do this? You know, can a program what I'm doing, what I come in every day and I do, you know, can a computer program just do it? And I would seriously be looking at the future, you know, because it never know when it's going to be that one day, and then and some company goes, we're laying off 20% of the people like that. We've got, you know, AI to do it. So that's what, you know, sooner or later they're just going to have to come up with UBI. There's going to be too many people that are just out of a job. The only way to slow it down is to say, if you're a big company and you're laying off this many people, then we're going to tax you this much. And then that money goes into the UBI that's going to pay these people. That's going to, so if they're going to maybe put the brakes on it where they won't just lay off massively, just lay off people around the country. But they're going to have to figure something out. But we never do things like that. We push it and push it. People make more money, everybody's having fun. It's all parties and everything, right? Until the bubble bursts. We always push it and push it until like all those people do start losing their jobs. Then people can't pay for their house, and people can't pay for the cars, and they can't pay for the groceries. And then all of a sudden people aren't buying all the extra stuff. You're not going and buying clothes or cigars or watching movies or going out to the bar or going out to the football game. And people start, you know, that's when the economy starts going sour, is when more and more people just go, I've had enough, I can't afford any of this. And then when the economy starts to go south, that's when they all react and then start trying to dump money around and everything. And by then people are like hurting. It's not like all of a sudden they're going to come up one day and go, okay, everybody needs $1,000 a month and just start putting it out. It's got to go through some big thing, legislation, and figure out where it's going to come in and go back out. And they need to really start looking at all that like right now, because this other stuff's coming like really fast. What's up, bud? I'm just streaming. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm gonna take off. I've been on here a long time. But yeah, guys, so like I said, I'm not trying to discourage people. I'm not trying to scare y'all. I just want to let y'all know what's going. I don't really know that much about like all these programs. There's people who sit all day long and generate pictures and generate, you know, do all of this stuff. I don't hardly use any of that. You guys see me put a couple of pictures up, AI pictures people have. I put the little gnomes on here, right? And I just watched a few videos, went and paid for one of the platforms, started uploading a couple of things, and I took a couple of pictures. Like you take a reference picture, like if I've got a picture of myself and say, when I was doing steampunk selfie, some little simple one, something I did like years ago. And I take that same exact thing and plug it into the programs that they have nowadays. And the changes are night and day. And then getting into video, which people are like just kind of glossing over right now, that it was just generating pictures was hard enough. Now to take that picture and just click a button that says animate. And if it's like me like this, I can put animate and say gardener turns around and looks at the plants. Man says keep on growing, right? And I hit generate, and within a couple of minutes, it makes it. And before, we were having to do masking, Photoshop. All this work would take hours and hours and days. And I know creators that would, just to do a little special effect in that, they'd spend all this time to make these little fancy videos. Now I can go in and say, use that video as a reference and make me one. And I wanted to say this instead. And it'll do it like that. And they took like days to do it, and I took like 15 seconds. So that's what everyone's up against. But if you take the time and you know what's here, what people are doing, and you start looking into it, maybe start using that stuff yourself. Right now, if you learn all of that, this stuff's coming, and unless some big thing happens, which, like I said, this administration is not wanting to regulate AI at all. And even though people are like not wanting like data centers and this and that, they're going to find a way for everything. They're going to figure something out, even if they don't put it here or there. They'll put up a nuclear site somewhere, or they'll have something in the ocean or out in space. They're going to figure something out. And the stuff's not making money right now, but sooner or later it's going to. And when it does is when it like just takes off. So if you realize the stuff is here and people are actually using it, if you take your time and learn it right now, because a lot of people won't take the time to do it. They want to stick their head in the sand. You not only can just make your own content and put it out there, you can learn it enough to where you can teach other people. And you don't have to be an expert. All of these businesses that are out there, if you learn how to take something and just generate and make an ad, sorry about that, and say they were selling these, and you learn how to take that and take a picture of it, and you can put that into AI and say, make a product video of that, change the color, change the background, do this, put these words on. If you learn how to do that, and you can teach businesses, you can go to businesses and take their products and do it, you'll be able to make a bunch of money. There's a lot of people that were doing it, like creators, like doing ad creative, and that it took a bunch of talent, it took a bunch of equipment, it took a bunch of editing, and they would go out and make like these videos and that for local businesses. And now you can go out and tell them, let me get your product or whatever, get out there with your camera. You can use your phone. It's like 4K video on your phone. Take a couple pictures, take a little short video or something, come back and plug it into the AI and generate these things for them. And if you want to make a little more money, you can teach them how to do it. Have like a workshop where you have like 3 or 4 or 5 of them in a Zoom meeting or something. And if you learn, you don't have to be an AI expert. You just have to show them how every day they come in and take a little product shot, put it up, and have a workflow for them where they can plug it in and make their own viral content that they put up. You make money at that too. I'd be looking at all kinds of stuff like that, how I would be able to use these things if I thought my job was like in any danger of like AI just taking over. Because the bad thing is where we all just wait and it just happens, right? And then we sit there and cry and wait for somebody to save us. So you got to think like nobody's coming to save you. So if you want to make money right now, you can go get another job. You can ask for extra hours, try to get a raise. But as far as like have an opportunity to connect with people, this is like the best opportunity right now. There's no other way for you to like connect with other people. Like I said, you don't need to get 1 million people. You just need to find, if you're selling gnomes, you just need to find people who like gnomes, right? If you're selling stuff with milk and cheese in it, do you need to find a bunch of vegans? Do you matter if you make a video and 1 million vegans see it? Right? No, right? So, but if you're selling a vegan cookie, right, it would help if 1,000 vegans saw it. That'd be the perfect group. You wouldn't need 1 million just regular people. You need 1,000 vegans to see it. So that's what we're going into. So that's why I'm saying put out content and keep talking to your perfect avatar. Figure out who your perfect avatar is and keep putting content out there and think how I'm going to bring people value. I'm trying to attract people just like me. I'm not trying to attract 1 million people. I just need to start building an audience of people that like stuff like me. That's it. It's that simple. So guys, I'm going to let you go. Like I said, I can sit here and talk all night. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll be live streaming. Sunday night, we might come back on. And if not, if you guys let me know who are in our private group, if you want to do a Zoom meeting where y'all can jump on and ask questions, and we'll just have a little get together if we need to. If not, I'll come back on Sunday and we'll pick a different topic to talk about. I'll try not to talk about AI. I did that last week and this week, but that's basically where everything is going right now. When you guys see these videos that will come out, it will just like blow your mind. All right. Have a good evening, Mike. Yep, I bet I'm going to email you something I made. Cool. See, yeah, do that. Hi, biscuits. I like to see that. Good night, Lynn. All right, good night, everybody. Appreciate it.